What do you know about Queen Elizabeth II? When was Elizabeth born? Elizabeth was born on the 21st of April 1926. Unlike most royal babies of the time, Elizabeth wasn't born in a palace or a castle. She was born in a house in Mayfair, London, which is now a Chinese restaurant. She was known as Lilibet, which is how she pronounced her name as a child. Was Elizabeth born to be a queen? No, Elizabeth was born Princess Elizabeth Alexandra Mary. When she was born, her grandfather, George V, was King of England. When he died, her uncle became King Edward VIII. Princess Elizabeth was third in line to the British throne, behind her uncle Edward and her father. She was never expected to become queen, as Edward was still young, and likely to marry and have children of his own, who would have become king or queen before Elizabeth. How and when did she become queen? In 1936, King Edward VIII unexpectedly abdicated his throne, or stepped down as King of England. Elizabeth's father then became King George VI, making Elizabeth the next heir to the throne. This meant that she had to be homeschooled, and taught subjects such as constitutional history, to prepare her to be queen one day. Elizabeth's father, King George VI, died in 1952, and she immediately became Queen Elizabeth II, at the young age of 25. She was officially crowned queen on the 2nd of June 1953, at her coronation. This was the first coronation to be televised, and it was watched by a TV audience of 20 million people. What was her life like before she became the queen? During the Second World War, Elizabeth joined the Women's Auxiliary Territorial Service, where she trained as a mechanic and driver, and drove a military truck. She was known as Second Subaltern Elizabeth Windsor. In 1947, she married Prince Philip of Greece and Denmark, but she had to collect clothing ration coupons for material for her dress, just like every other bride in Britain at the time. Before the marriage, Philip gave up his Greek and Danish titles, and adopted the name Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten, taking the surname of his mother's British family. Upon their wedding, the couple became the Duke and Duchess of Edinburgh. How many children did Elizabeth and Philip have? Prince Charles was born in 1948. Elizabeth and Philip went on to have 3 more children, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward. Their family continued to grow, with 8 grandchildren and 12 great-grandchildren. The Queen and Prince Philip celebrated their platinum wedding anniversary, which is 70 years, in 2017. Prince Philip passed away in 2021. Where did the Queen and her family live? Throughout most of her reign, the Queen lived in Buckingham Palace in London, which has been the official residence of British monarchs for centuries. Buckingham Palace has 775 rooms. The Queen and her family also enjoyed weekends and Easter at Windsor Castle, which has been a royal residence for 900 years, and is the largest occupied castle in the world. They would often spend Christmas at Sandringham Estate in Norfolk. In Scotland, the Queen's official residence was the Palace of Holyrood House in Edinburgh. However, the Queen's favourite residence of all was Balmoral Castle, near Aberdeen in Scotland. How long did she reign? Queen Elizabeth II ruled for 70 years, until her death in 2022, making her the longest-serving monarch in UK history. She was the Queen of the United Kingdom, and of 14 other sovereign countries. She celebrated her Platinum Jubilee in June 2022. Did you know? The Queen's favourite dogs were Corgis, and she owned over 30 during her reign. The most she had at one time was 13. The Queen was the only person in the UK allowed to drive without a licence. She enjoyed driving, especially around Windsor Castle and Balmoral, and continued driving well into her 90s. Queen Elizabeth II celebrated 2 birthdays. Her real birthday, on the 21st of April, and her official birthday, which was held on a Saturday in June. It has been a tradition since 1748, that the reigning monarch has their birthday in June because the weather is better and they can celebrate properly.